Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend and got to spend time with your family or working on your rigs or just relaxing or whatever. Today I wanted to just give kind of like a giant update on the Toyota 5.3 swap because I'm the kind of person who I don't really work on like one thing at a time. Like when I'm working on a truck or like a project for school or work or whatever, I like to kind of have the entire project laid out in front of me and work on like little bits of it and just kind of rotate. That way when I get like frustrated with something, I can just move on to the next little task in the project and just work on that. So I thought it'd be helpful just to kind of give you guys just an entire overview of the truck, where we're at, where we're heading, stuff like that. So currently for fuel and fuel delivery, I have this fuel cell just kind of tacked up. I think I went over it in another video, but in case you didn't see that, I picked it up off Craigslist for pretty cheap. For now, I just kind of have, this isn't going to be the final product or anything, but I just kind of have it routed where I want it to go. I welded in this bar that'll kind of hold the fuel pump on here, and then I have the fuel filter just ran down here for now, running all the way to the motor. This is a return style system, so I'm going to have two lines. I'm going to have the feed line and then the return line coming in over here. So yeah, I'm going to go in and probably put better lines in it and stuff like that, but for now that's where we're at as far as the fuel system goes. In general, the back of the truck here, I am going to put the bed back on, but it's going to have to be completely hollowed out. So that'll be, not really sure what I'm going to do yet as far as this goes, but I definitely want it to look more like a Toyota truck than like a buggy. So moving to the interior, wow, I can't believe I can't say that, but I have it pretty much all gutted out of here. All the carpet, all the original wiring is removed, which is pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie, but all that's out. I am going to be removing all of this, as we'll talk about in just a minute, because I have an announcement about something I'm going to be installing. As far as pedals go, I still need to remove like the clutch pedal and stuff like that, because it's going to be an automatic. But yeah, as far as this goes, I just need to keep cleaning it up, and then I'll basically build a new dash and then run a switch panel in here to power the truck. Okay, so now under the truck, as far as the transmission and transfer case goes, we're running a turbo 350 automatic. I think I'm going to put a manual valve body in it though, with a gated shifter up in the cab. Or I was thinking about doing a ratchet shifter, but I think a gated shifter will be better for my needs. And then I have a massive NP205 gear-driven transfer case that should be totally bulletproof. I'm really excited to see how that handles. Eventually I might do a doubler with an NP203, but for now, just to kind of get rolling, I'm just going to be running the 205. As far as the cross member goes, I kind of have one tacked up there. I was able to use the stock cross member from the Chevy truck that it came out of and kind of modify it. I'm going to be beefing it up in the near future with some tubing, so that way if I high center or anything, the truck will just kind of slide over whatever I'm high centered on. And then as far as drive lines go, I have to build the rear one, or have it built, but the front one that actually came with the transmission I think should work. The length seems to line up pretty well, and because my front axle is a Dana 44 Chevy axle, I think it might end up working. So we're definitely going to just try to use this, at least in the beginning, and then we'll modify it as needed. So now in here where the real goods are at, so here's the 5.3 vortec motor. As you probably have seen in the previous videos, I ended up having to cut out the majority of the fender. The inner fender is pretty much all gone, as well as the front core support and clip. And that's just so I can fit all of this in there easier, because I'm not going to be driving it on the street. I feel like I'm able to get away with, you know, being a little bit more aggressive with my cutting and making things fit. I'll be running tubing. Obviously that's not welded in or anything, but I'll be building kind of a cradle for the motor that's going to go all the way around. Then I can attach this radiator on there. Radiator's out of like I think it's a 92 Chevy 350 truck, and I think it should work pretty good. It is used though, so I might have to get a new one, but I'll definitely be using like that platform of radiator. And then, okay, so here's where things are changing a little bit. So as you can see, my whole steering setup is pretty cramped in there. There's not a lot of room. I mean, like a hand's width between the steering and the head. And my goal is that I want to be able to run some massive, like long tube chrome headers. And to be honest, do I need that? Probably not, but I've always wanted to. I just love the look of like giant chrome headers sticking out of trucks, and I want you to be able to see it, like with the inner fender cut out. I want you to be able to just like see those massive headers just in there. Is it too much? Yeah, and I realize that, but you know what? This is my truck, and this is the way I want to do it. So that's what we're doing. So taking all the stock steering off, at least that's the plan, and we're going to be running full hydraulic steering. Now, a lot of people have their opinions on whether that's good or bad to do, you know, whether to run hydraulic assist or full hydro. I'm going to go full hydro. I know a couple of people that are doing it and they're pretty happy with it, and you know, if for some reason I don't like it, we'll just go back, because I'll just keep all the stock stuff. Not going to cut anything off. I think the steering box is just bolted on maybe, and if it's not, we can always just weld it back on. So that's what we're doing. I have the orbital down here, and then I have kind of the lines kind of mocked up where I'm going to run them, and then I'll run a nice big ram on my axle. So that's pretty exciting, pretty stoked about that, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm trying to think about anything else. You know, as far as brakes and stuff, I'm planning on using the stock master cylinder, and just kind of rerouting everything. Oh, wiring. So for the wiring harness, I'm currently working on that. It's in my room right now. It's actually almost done. I'm converting it to a standalone harness, which actually hasn't been as difficult and scary as I thought it was. Definitely put a video up when I'm finished, but so the wiring should be just about done. ECU is being reflashed to run on the standalone harness. So yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty dang good. So as far as moving forward and content that you should be looking for in the near future, obviously building the cradle around the motor, which is going to run into the cab, and then I'll build a little dash to hook or to weld the orbital on and stuff for the hydraulic steering. We're going to be taking off all the stock steering here fairly soon and starting to lay out the hydraulic steering. I'm going to be mounting up the radiator fans. All the wiring is going to have to be kind of organized and laid out. Fuel lines are going to have to be done. Other than that, it's just little things like, well, exhaust isn't really a little thing, but I'll have to do the exhaust, you know, starter, brakes, all the grounds, little things like that. But I'm really excited. I think I can kind of see the end. You know, sometimes with big long projects like this, it's really hard to see like the end of the tunnel, but we're finally seeing it. It's coming out great, and I hope you guys are excited to keep watching more content on this truck. So look out for more videos in the future. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you would, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.